Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to another LeadSquared webinar. Today is episode 3 of our LeadSquared Sales Week, and today we'll be discussing about productivity tracking and how to achieve your sales goals with it. So my name is Kartika and I will be your host for today. I am from the marketing team of LeadSquared. And before we start the actual session, I have a few pointers to the audience. Yes, for the people who have already joined us yesterday and day before, you might already know this. But for the people who joined us today, yes, we do have an option to put up all questions that you may have during the webinar. So if you have any questions during the webinar, you can put it up on the questions tab. There is also a chat tab where you can engage with us, network with us. So that is also an option. And from our side, from the Lead Squared side, we'll be putting up a couple of polls during the webinar. Please do respond to them, engage with them. We would love to hear from you. So yes, with that, let me quickly introduce our speaker. We have our key speaker here, Mr. Rohit Gupta. He is the co-founder and COO of CollegeVidya. Mr. Rohit is someone who started as an education counselor, but right now he has hundreds of education counselors working under him. It is a privilege for me to introduce him to the sales week. Thank you so much, Mr. Rohit, for joining us. I'm really looking forward to learning from you. Any few points to the audience about what they can expect from you this session?
Thank you, Kartika. It's an opportunity for me to present my experience, what I have learned from in my 15 years from being a canopy boy, distributing pamphlets in front of Delhi University colleges for NIIT. Then uh, I joined a vocational training company in 2007, and I'm from a days where there was no digital thing, no digital leads, no digital nothing. We have to in any case we have to pull the inquiries to our education centers, and now that we are in this
A
digital
digital
age.
age.
Yeah, digital age is now there, so everything has been automated, from the milk which is coming to my house, and the evening dinner which I had, everything is coming to me via digital mode only.
Exactly. I could not agree more. So, yes, with that, Mr. Rohit, again, I'm really looking forward to learning from you this session, and I'm sure our audience is as well. So, let me just quickly share my screen so that we can start with the presentation and actual webinar. Yes, over to you, Mr. Rohit.
So the topic I'll be talking today will be on achieve your sales goals with productivity tracking. So once again, I would like to thank LeadSquared and Kartika for bringing me to this platform uh, uh, where I can share my experience of 15 years into this education field, which I started in 2007, being a canopy boy, standing in front of all the colleges, distributing the pamphlets of various courses, then starting my own company with the vocational training in the space. Then from 2012, I've been into higher education. So this is about me. Now my what we do in College Vidya, why we started this College Vidya. So our vision is to bring out the power of distance in online education. So from last 10 years, we were into only distance education, that's open distance learning. Now that 2020 UGC, our government has approved online education. So this is a new revolution. We can learn on our own pace, on our own budgets, on the universities we like. So online education and open learning free from middlemen to otherwise. Our mission in this competitive global market, we are committed to providing professionals with high quality and industry related training programs. Uh, we identified a problem of selecting a university or a college back in 2020s or 1990s. It was majorly it was our parents' decision at that time, which used to uh, uh, we used to take admission in colleges or university based on the decision of our parents, or the based on the decision of our friends. Even even it was difficult for me to identify a university or a course or a college. So at that time there were no counselors available. So now we have identified this problem, and we have identified the universities from which all these students can come and compare on their choices, and they can select these universities. So our objective is to provide students with the right knowledge so they can make informed decision about their career. So this is one of the irreversible decision that we take in our life while we are going to get enrolled in any of the university or in any of the colleges. it's a irreversible decision. It's a 3-year course. Our career, our life depend on this decision. So it's an irreversible decision. So College Vidya, what we do at College Vidya, we list only approved online and distance education universities in India. In my last 10 years, I've seen universities getting debarred from UGC from taking admissions, but that news doesn't, the student doesn't gets to know that news. So we have our own research team who research on these universities, and we only list approved online and distance education universities in India. We have a artificial intelligent compare feature in our most search feature that we deliver. Compare is one of the best feature that we have. Based on your budget, based on the student reviews, based on the placements, based on the courses, we compare all the universities that are available in India. Now that I have an option to enroll, sitting in Delhi, I have an option to enroll myself in a university that is in Tamil Nadu or that is in Karnataka. Back in 2020s, that was not an option. So now I can compare North Indian universities with South Indian University or East India University or wherever it is. We can compare all the universities and we can make our decision better. We complies with university details. We are 100% compliant platform where we only list all these universities. We have 3 mode of counseling with us. That is audio, that is telephonically based. We have around 500 people with us, 500 counselors with us in-house who does counseling to these students every day via audio, via video. And if a student requires a visit, then we also have a field team who visits the student also. And this is unbiased counseling platform in India where we do not charge anything to the student. It is an unbiased counseling platform. From day one, from admission to degree, we actually support student on all the queries he or she have. So our value proposition to student, problem faced by student. So it's actually a time consuming process. A student who is passing from school takes time to make a decision on what career he chooses, what course he should pursue. Difficult to compare universities on one platform. There was no platform available at the time we started this platform, CollegeVidya. No other platform we came to know that have all the universities listed over there or the approved universities. One university, one product. When I say one university, one product, if I inquire in one university, X university, they would be actually counseling me on their course, on their university only. So on CollegeVidya, we tried to solve a problem wherein we do not counsel a student for only one university where we have all the universities listed. So we allow them to select university as per their choice. Lack of transparency. So in our education system, there's a lack of transparency by what is being said by all the counselors and what is actually being delivered. Lack of proper guidance. So this counseling is actually a social service. It's actually a social. It's actually for a social cause. Lack of proper guidance, irreversible decision. Again, it's an irreversible decision. So these are the problems which we sought, and we tried to overcome these problems by the solutions we have. Technology is now everyday thing. Through technology, we have enabled the fastest services. So the time consuming process is now faster. It doesn't take time. Easy comparison with simplified terms. University based on student reviews. It is actually students who rate the university. It's vice versa process. A student is being rated by university on his academic, what all he does on his academic things by the examination process. So university actually ranks student, and student is the one who will actually rank university. University cannot claim we are the best, we are the number one. It is actually the students who actually rates the students. So we have all the student reviews on our website, on the platform where they can review this. Better student disclosure enabling superior university selection. Dedicated support team. We have a dedicated support team apart from university wherein we support their queries from admission to their degrees. and we do not charge anything from student. We do, it's a free of cost counseling that we does. So let's come to the today's topic, which is sales productivity. So from the day one, from my career, when I started it with sales, in sales, the first thing which I learned was the sales goals. First we have to define our sales goal, then only we can then only we can track our productivity. So the first thing in sales goals defining is the first approach to the sales productivity is to set realistic achievable sales goals. So being into education field, many of my friends are there in BFSI sector, wherein they tell me that they have unrealistic goals assigned to them which are not actually achievable. So my funda is to set a realistic achievable goals, then your revenue goals, what revenue you would like to achieve, how many leads you want to won, and the resources you have to do these sales. So uh, after revenue resources, how many sales you want to do, it's the effort that keeps the track of the productivity. Because I believe in the efforts which are actually important, which will give you success. It's not the setting up of the target setting up of the resources. It's the efforts which we have to do to achieve these sales. So productivity tracking. So we actually have to make sure in any of the industry we work, it's the customer which we have to get. It's the leads we have to generate. It's the prospects we have to generate. And after generating those prospects, those leads, we have to qualify them that actually they are interested in buying our product, our services. They are actually interested in us or not. So from taking the prospect to qualify them, it's the uh, salesman or a counselor. It's their acumen to judge that actually this customer is qualified, if he'll be able to buy our product or not. So that's the need assessment that we have to assess. Demonstration of a product, demonstration of the services. So I believe whether I'm selling a pen or whether I'm selling a water purifier or I'm selling anything, I have to trust in that product. First, that trust needs to be there. Then only I can sell any of the product. If I'm actually selling a gold, so it should be a pure gold. So first thing, a salesperson should believe in the product which he's actually selling in the market. The first thing, if he have a trust, then he can make the buyer to trust that product. Then again, the final proposition is the proposal that we have to submit to the client, and then winning the deal. So as I've mentioned in my earlier webinars, also in my all the discussion, that today this is a digital age. This is a digital age where from milk to my evening dinner, everything comes to me via digital. So nowadays we have to automate all the sales process in our office, or as our field salesperson. Everything has to be done through digital mode. So prospect pipeline tracking, how many interested leads we are generating, that should be done through digital mode only. Otherwise we cannot track them. Efforts is a key to success. Every other industry has some of the other key ratio what they have to rely on. As in our industry, it is a talk time. uh, it is a talk time that gets us success. So when I say talk time, the field salesperson has to travel. It's their key ratio. Or in-house counselor or a in-house salesperson, it is a talk time which actually are the efforts which will make them success, which will actually make them achieve their sales goals. So we actually need to track the efforts, not the sales. What target we have set, what sales we are actually able to do. We actually should track the efforts, not the sales what is happening, not the targets we are meeting. We actually have to track the efforts what they are doing into their sales thing. So industry wise it differs. like in field sales, they have to travel, they have to meet people. In offline sales, we have a talk time. So in every other market, there's different kind of efforts. So productivity tracking in digital aid, prospect engagement tracking. Now that we have uh, emails in place, whenever a lead comes in, we shoot an email. We get to know what is the time that our prospect has spent on reading that email. He clicked on that email, or he didn't click on that email, on a link on that email. SMS, we use SMS engines to send SMS to our clients, just to keep them engaged with us. So by sending an email, by sending an SMS, having a WhatsApp chatbot, now this is a new channel of engagement with the customer, that is coming nowadays in marketing. And it will be again a next digital revolution, this WhatsApp. Highest customer engagement is there on are there on WhatsApp. WhatsApp chatbot actually helps uh, client to get the information of the product without even doing a calling, or going anywhere. Let's say a client punch in his lead, he'll gets a WhatsApp of getting all the information on their WhatsApp, by asking any of the details. So it doesn't require any human intervention in this WhatsApp engagement. Again, talk time is always is a king in our industry. So that if talk time increases, everything will increase, the sales will increase, the higher sales goals will be increase, will be able to achieve. So the talk time is the king in our industry. Makes us win audio and video. The video counseling, after this COVID, the video counseling is a new thing that we are able to achieve, that people are more relying on this video counseling. uh, on video counseling, the trust he gains is much higher than what is done in the audio part. So nowadays we have productivity tracking tools that should be in place. In any of the industry we work, WhatsApp chatbots are actually becoming the top engagement platform, where we are able to keep a track of what engagement is between our WhatsApp chatbots and the customer. The email engines, lakhs and crores of emails are being sent every day on every other platform. Everyone is getting those emails. So now these emails are actually very beneficial for everyone. CRM, of course, the customer relationship management thing, uh, gives the track record of everything. Now let's say our counselors are full time engaged on the CRM, continuously keeping engaged our customers through CRM. CRM actually gives us every kind of a report what we want to know, because these are the tracking tools from the CRMs. Talk time reports, missed call reports, every other report you can generate from the CRMs. So in digital age, we actually need these things to keep the product, to keep the tracking of our people who are inside our sales teams. Dialers is one of the best engine which I've seen these days, wherein I do not have to give any SIM card to my counselor, to any of my salesperson. There are dialers, there are softwares in which we can dial. Outbound dials are happening, inbound calls are happening, and again, check in and check out of our salespeople. So this was from my side, Kartika. If any questions.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Now that we are done with the presentation bit of our webinar, I am just going to quickly get to the questions. Now, again, before I go to my questions, I would actually like to request or remind the audience one more time that we do have a questions tab and a chat tab. Any questions that you have, please do put it up over there. We would love to take up those questions from you. And I have just published two polls. Actually, please do interact with them. Please do respond to them. We'd love to hear from you. Okay, so with that, let me just get to my first question, Mr. Rohit. It's a very simple question. How do you suggest, or how do you think people can improve the performance of their sales team?
So I guess I've covered that, but again, I'll explain this. So I have been into sales from last from 12 to 13 years. I've been into sales. So my success funda was to believe in my product, whatever I'm selling, whatever product or service selling, I should actually believe in that product. So the first thing comes that if you do not believe in that product what you are selling, you will end up losing everything actually. Let's say I'm selling a pressure cooker. So if that is not good, if I do not believe, if it will not be able to cook a better food for me, I will actually will not sell that product in market.
So I think it is a lot about also convincing your sales team and also really telling them what exactly the product can do and the product idea what it is, so that they also get a sense of, oh yes, this is something that I would use, so I will sell it, like that kind of a mentality.
Yes, Kartika, it is actually it should be the first step whenever a salesperson is being trained by any of the company. So making them believe in your product. If
Yes.
because you are actually doing because you believe in that product.
Hmm.
That is why you are into this thing. Now again, you have to train them. You have to make them believe in your product. Then only you can expect them to sell that product in market.
Definitely. I completely agree with that. So let me just close this presentation actually. Yes. So with that, I am just going to quickly publish our next poll. So to the audience again, if you have any questions, please do keep it coming. I'm going to publish the next poll, and I'll give you maybe 15 seconds of time to just respond to that poll. It will be on the poll tab, which is to the right side corner of your screen. So please do respond to that. Okay, I see the people are answering to the poll. All right, so with that, I am going to my next question. Can you share a few tips to optimize remote force management?
Okay. So even we have our remote sales people with us who visits our prospects. So again, the solution will come from technology side only. Now that we have GPS in place, all the apps, everyone uses Android phone or an iPhone. Everyone has that, and they have all these CRM apps in their system. So we can actually keep a track record of our salespeople, what time he actually goes out from his office, from his home, and how many clients does he meet. So for this thing, we have a GPS in place. Through GPS, we can track all these field salespeople. This is actually an invention in this field sales tracking process. Through GPS, you can actually make sure how many clients he met on the everyday basis. So again, the efforts should be how far he traveled today. It are the efforts. It's not how many clients he met. It's how far he traveled today, and of course how many clients he met.
Yes, definitely. So, uh, yeah, I that answers my question. All right, so I'm going to go to one more question. Yes, how do you monitor your sales performances against targets?
So I actually do not believe in producting sales targets and keep tracking of sales target. I only keep track of the efforts what they are doing. It's the
Okay.
efforts that will close the deal. It won't be hammering them with the sales targets every day. It should be hammering them on the efforts what they should do.
I understand.
I,
Yes.
I actually keep track on the efforts. I do not track my sales targets, because if efforts are there, sales are bound to happen. You cannot stop sales to happen if the efforts are done. Whatever we are doing, if actually I'm studying, I'll be able to clear the exam.
Hmm.
It's the question should not be how much marks you are expecting in your examination. The question should be how many hours are you actually studying.
Ending. Yes. I wish this was something that I could have told my parents when I was a child. It would
Because
have been easier.
Kartika, in our days also, everyone used to ask what percentage you are expecting, what percentage
Yes.
you are expecting, and there wasn't this question, how many hours do you study? There wasn't this question. So it
Yes.
actually comes to a sports industry also. Like we says, practice makes the man perfect. Practice makes the wins in the matches. So it is the practice which makes you win. It is
Yeah.
not the match that will you will win.
Yeah, I'm really glad to know that the effort is actually measured, or should be at least measured, uh, rather than the output, because I can see that the audience also agree with that, that output matters, but at the same time, effort is definitely something that should be counted. So with that, I am going to quickly publish another poll. So yes, again from the audience, I don't see questions coming in. So if you have any more questions, please do put it up. Uh, yes, I've published another poll as well. So please do respond to that. Yes. Okay. So one poll question that we put up was actually for us also to understand from the audience is, which sales KPIs do you track? So in from you, Mr. Rohit, do you think that at least in your institution, if you don't mind, what exactly are the sales KPIs that you focus on or you think is most important when it comes to productivity?
Yes, the first KPI is the outbound calls that we do, is the KPI. So in our industry, it is 250 is the number which we actually tell them to do, because
Mm,
when you will try to do 250 calls, 100 or 75 will get connected. So it is the
true.
first KPI that we have. The second KPI is the talk time, which is actually king in our industry. And uh, and the timings of these shifts, what time actually you comes, you go, it's our KPI. And the target is the last one. So starting from efforts to the target.
Yes, I understand that. And again, I see that Ramesh here, Ramesh had joined in yesterday as well. He has said that he completely agrees with measuring, that it is more meaningful to measure input metric rather than output metric. So I'm glad that the audience also resonate with that opinion. Uh, yes. So I don't see any questions coming in again. So yes. How do you track target versus achievement is another that question that we put across to our audience. Please to respond to us. Mr. Rohit, what is your opinion on that? How do you track your targets versus achievements?
So I actually tracks my own target. I track my own targets, so that target can be measured from the base level to my level. Because a person who is actually doing sales, his target is his TL target. His TL target is his AM target. His AM target is
Hmm.
his VP's target, and the VP's target is my target. So I
Yes,
I have to keep the track of my target. Accordingly, it will happen at all the levels.
true. I agree with that. I think the base focus should also be everyone, if they focus on their own level, I think the flow will automatically happen.
Because again, it's a pyramid. So the target, the sales goals, first it is my responsibility. I have to set them. The
Hmm.
revenue goals and the sales goals, it is actually I have to set them. Then I have to divide them in all my teams. So at the day end, it is my target, it is my responsibility to achieve them. And then it is my responsibility to my team should also achieve them. It is also my responsibility at the day end.
Yes. I think that's setting a very proper example as well, because if we get to see that someone who's sitting at the top or above us is actually maintaining that flow or is maintaining a proper segregation of what he has to achieve, then I think that's just a great lesson for us as well. So that's a great way of measuring your target and achievement, I would say. Uh, yes. So that is all from my side as well. So again, to the audience, if you have any more questions, please to let us know. And yes, of course, you can always email us. That is another option. You can definitely email us and we will get back to you with the answers. And of course, you can get in touch with Mr. Rohit as well if you want to on LinkedIn or something. So with that, Mr. Rohit, please tell us a bit about your experience of this webinar and few closing notes, if I may.
So thank you very much. Actually, this is my first time on these kind of a webinar, and I request you to please invite me if it is happening next time, because the questions thrown by the audience actually are helpful for me to understand also, and it is actually a very good experience for me. So next time if you're doing any kind of a webinar, do invite me. I would like to host
Definitely.
this type of webinar.
Yes, I think it's a great way of networking as well because, like, as far as sales week goes, that was one of the main concepts that we had from Lead Squared side as well, because networking. And thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to host you for your first webinar. That was great. I mean, thank you so much for giving us your insights as well. So, yes, to the audience as well, thank you so much for tuning in. I will just give a quick 10 more seconds to just respond to all the polls. Please to respond to all our polls. We'd love to hear from you. We're actually kind of doing like a small survey of sorts because this is a sales generic week as well. So 10 more seconds to the audience just to respond quickly to all our polls and we can close this session. Okay, so while the audience is actually doing that, tomorrow is our last day as far as sales week is concerned. So let me just quickly pull that up. Yes, so this was our timetable for sales week. We are at the third day. We also have one more session tomorrow, which is our final session, which will be hosted by Mr. Vijay Rajgopal from Amazon Pay. He'll be talking about how the most effective sales strategies and how to employ the customer backward approaches, which is something that Amazon is very proud of. So, tomorrow we'll be able to see a little glimpse of how that works from Mr. Vijay Rajgopal himself. Okay. So, with that, I think we have come to an end of the session. Once again, Mr. Rohit, thank you so much for joining us. It was lovely. We had a very insightful session. And yes, to the audience, again, the recording and the presentation will be shared with you over an email. Thank you so much, Mr. Rohit. Again, we loved
Thank you, Parth.
hosting you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a wonderful day.